Hey love, so in today's video we're going to be talking about how I budget my money as a model living in LA. So I have a few tips written down for you guys. Personally, I feel like I am a good candidate to talk about this because my whole life I've always been into budgeting money and just saving. I was always pretty advanced in math, but like budgeting money was like my favorite thing since I was a kid. I'd always save my money to buy like the newest pair of sneakers, newest pair of like whatever was hot at the moment in fashion. And I don't know, it's just always been a passion of mine. Like I actually wanted to be an accountant. In school, I was gonna go to college to be an accountant. I actually got like college credits and all that stuff. And somebody actually requested me to make this video. So shout out to you. I feel like this was like such a great topic. So I just hopped on it. I was like, let me make it ASAP. Yeah, anyway, I have 7 tips of how I budget my money as a model in LA. Tip number 1 is to roommate for as long as you can. And this is like honestly anywhere, not even just LA, but if you're like moving to a new city, starting a new job from scratch, so you probably don't have much money. For me personally, I came to LA with $600 to my name. I drove out here in my little PT Cruiser, and at the time I was actually doing DoorDash like as a side job. Well, that was like my main job at the time was DoorDash, but I just moved to LA. I was staying with my aunt at the time and she wasn't really charging me for rent. But I had a few different places. Like I was kind of like couch hopping at first, and then I got my roommates I was staying with for like almost 2 years. We stayed together. So the thing with modeling is you don't really start to get your money rolling in until like 3 months after you've been working, because it's this thing called net 90 where they have 90 days until they like officially have to pay you. When I first started modeling, I didn't get my first check till like 3 months later. Maybe it was like a little less than 3 months. But yeah, so I was doing DoorDash on the side. That's how I was making my money to like live throughout life, you know. And I'm so grateful for my family that helped me out so I didn't have to pay like a full amount of rent. But I would definitely suggest, if you're coming from a different city to like a big city, definitely if you have friends, excuse the planes, I'm in the like near airport, but if you have friends that are willing to like move with you, start this new life with you, I would definitely say get together and invest in a spot. Major key is to make sure that it's somebody that you get along with, somebody that you know, because there's nothing worse than like having problems at home and just having to deal with like stuff when you're trying to get on your feet and start a new career. Like you really need to have your head in the game, have that peace of mind. So definitely suggest getting somebody that you know or somebody that you get along with. Or it doesn't have to be. Like a lot of times models, when we move to new cities, they have model apartments, like either hosted by the agency or they have some that are hosted by promoters. I personally actually stayed in one hosted by a promoter for like 2 months my first year when I was out here. And it was not the best experience. It was not. I do not suggest promoter model houses. So the thing with that house, that particular house, was half the girls to not have to pay rent. We could go out to the club at least 4 nights a week and stay until 2 a.m. with the club promoter. And that's just not like a healthy situation for me, because you're trying to get your career started with modeling. At that point, you're not in the right state of mind to pursue your career. If you're out till 2 a.m., you have a call time at 8 a.m., you barely getting rest, you look tired on set, it's just not setting you up for success. So I highly do not suggest that. There's also model apartments hosted by the agency, so it's just all models from your particular agency. That's kind of a cool situation because you get to meet other models that are working. But the thing with that is some girls aren't working as much as other girls, so there could be jealousy and like different stuff like that. Sometimes it could be a lot of girls in the apartment at once. So that's just also something to be noted. But if you don't mind, then, you know, do you. If you feel like you can work with it, then you can work with it. But definitely roommating is key. And then I got my own place last year, like a few months ago, and it's my first time like having my own place. But that was like almost 3 years into me living in LA. It was like 2.5 years of living in LA, and then I finally got my own spot. But it's just good to like save up money. But while you're doing that, make sure you're also saving up your money. Like this whole thing is budgeting your money. Okay, so tip number 2, that was a long tip number 1, I know. Tip number 2 is to eat at home, home cooked meals. Don't be going out to the restaurant all the time. Trader Joe's is key. Trader Joe's is your friend, I promise you. They have so many like already ready cooked meals. I love they have so many different cultured foods too. Like there's Indian, Thai, there's a bunch of different stuff. Salmon, fresh food, fruit, all that good stuff. And I feel like every time I go shopping at Trader Joe's, it's way cheaper than I expected. But yeah, if you're going out to eat every single day, you're spending so much unnecessary money. And honestly, eating at home is more healthy too. Like you know exactly what's getting put in the food. it's just more healthy for the lifestyle of modeling too, you know. So I would definitely suggest grocery shopping more than going out. Personally, I think I go out to eat probably like 2 times a week. And if you don't know how to cook, just go on YouTube and look at some videos. It's not that hard, but highly suggest cooking at home. It will save you so much money, I promise you. Tip number 3 would be use Beauty Pass. Beauty Pass is like the greatest gift to models. It's this app, I don't know who created it and all that stuff, but I think it was actually created by a model. But they partner with different restaurants, gyms, different places like that, beauty spa places for models to, like, you go there and you post on your social media that you're going to their place and you're just showing that you're using their products or you're promoting their products pretty much. And in exchange, you get to get their products for free. So whether it's a restaurant, when I first started using Beauty Pass, there is this restaurant called Joe and the Juice. I would go there all of the time. And they have these like smoothies, sandwiches and stuff. So you can get that for free and you just have to post, you know, yourself eating it, or, you know, just that you're at the restaurant and you get it for free. So yeah, it's amazing. And they have so many different things with like workouts, and they're in every major city that there's models. So like New York, Miami, London, pretty much everywhere that you could be signed as a model. So it's amazing. I really love that app. Like, that helped me out so much. So if you are going to eat out, look on Beauty Pass and see if there's something that you like on there. And if for workouts and stuff, instead of buying a gym membership or something, check on Beauty Pass and see if there's some places that you like. They have a lot of like yoga, HIIT training, different stuff like that. So highly suggest it. Tip number 4. My tip number 4 would be to buy a car over Ubering. So this one is kind of, it depends on if you have a driver's license. If you know how to drive, please do not get a car. If you don't know how to drive, please don't. Just stay off the street and let somebody else drive you. But definitely if you have a driver's license, Ubers are getting expensive out here, especially in LA. So when I drove out to LA with my car, I had a little PT Cruiser, so I had that for a minute, but I was traveling a lot. So whenever I come back, I would get hella tickets. That's the only thing in LA is the tickets are annoying, parking, all that stuff. So you definitely have to be watching out for parking meters and all that stuff, because that is, you have to budget parking expenses in your LA lifestyle budget. Because yeah, the parking tickets are crazy, like $50 plus. So yeah, I was getting a lot of parking tickets. So I was just like, I'm not gonna drive anymore. I'm just gonna Uber, so I don't have to worry about parking. So I was Ubering for I think like a year, and I gave my mom my car. She took it back to Arizona. And yeah, I was just Ubering and it was nice, but the only thing is that you don't get to carry all your stuff with you. That's what I don't like about Ubering. Like with your car, you can always have everything you need. You got some backup heels, backup clothes in the trunk, whatever, you know. You always have everything you need. But the thing is, why I got a car again is because after quarantine and stuff, the Uber prices were ridiculous. Well, I was actually taking Lyft. I never really took Uber. Lyft is, I feel like, a little bit cheaper, and yeah, I use Lyft personally, but yeah, the prices were getting crazy. So my friend, actually, my roommate at the time, decided to get a car. She was like telling me how it's cheaper than Ubering and stuff. So I looked into it and I was like, yeah, it is actually cheaper. So we both like got our cars around the same time. We stopped Ubering, and yeah, it was a great decision. Because I personally actually like driving. I like having the control of like being wherever I need to be at whatever time I need to be, and not have to worry about what the price is going to be, you know. So I personally like driving. And it was cheaper. Like my car payment is definitely cheaper than Ubering around all the time every month. So yeah, it's highly suggest that if you can drive. Tip number 5, I would say, is to go thrift shopping instead of buying new clothes all the time. I feel like it's good to treat yourself every once in a while, but don't buy brand new clothes every time that you want to get some new clothes. Like, try it out. There's this place, Crossroads in LA, that they have a lot of like people bringing clothes that they don't want anymore. And it's usually like nicer and stuff. So it's not like a Goodwill level. It's like a couple steps above Goodwill. But there's a lot of cool thrift shops in LA. You can find a lot of cool pieces. The only thing is you do have to search for it. But Crossroads, I feel like, is pretty easy to like find some good stuff. And if you want some more luxury stuff, there's also the Real, and there's place Tradesy that you can get like designer pieces for cheaper, you know? And you can also consign your stuff with them. Like if you don't want a designer piece anymore, consign it at the Real or the Crossroads. If you're done with an outfit or something and you're over it, take it there. They'll probably accept it, give you some money for it. So highly suggest that instead of always buying brand new clothes all the time. Okay, so tip number 6 is really, really important. I actually should have probably put this at the top of the list. But once your checks do start coming in, you're gonna be getting some money. You're probably not used to getting so much money all the time, so you just want to spend it on a bunch of stuff. Do not do that. When you first get your check, put aside 15% of each check that you get into a savings account. So go to the bank and make a savings account to where that's where you put your money. You don't touch it ever until tax season comes around. Because the thing with modeling is we have to pay our own taxes. They don't take the taxes out for you. The only tax that is taken out is the agency tax, which is 20% of each job. And yeah, that's all it's taken out. But you still have to pay your government and state tax. Personally, like I have a lot of friends that they don't do this. And once tax season comes around, it's like they have to spend most of their money that they have because you're not putting aside the money. And so you're like spending all your money because you're thinking like, oh, this is my money to spend. You know, I can spend all this. But the thing is, it's not really all of your money. It's not. You have taxes and you owe some of that money to the government, which really sucks. I hate it. I really hate it. So put aside 15% of each check into a savings account. Don't touch it. Don't even think of it as your money. It's not your money, okay? And the thing, like once tax season comes around, that's like the main chunk of it. I feel like every time I think the last year I did, it wasn't even enough. I still have to pay like a little bit extra out of my main account, but it's like most of it, you know? 15% depends on, you know, if you have a good tax person, honestly, because I've been doing my taxes myself, me and my mom, and I feel like I just need to get a professional tax person. My last and final tip is to invest in stocks and crypto. Now, I know people are a little worried about crypto and stuff, but I definitely feel like it's the new thing coming up. I learned a lot from 19 Keys. I took a few courses on crypto and stuff, so definitely get educated on it because it is the new wave. But if you're not ready for crypto yet, invest in stocks, do a little bit of research, and maybe like invest in a class on stocks. I would say earn your leisure, 19 Keys. There's a lot of people that talk about stocks, Gary Vee, you know, and you can just get a few tips, invest your money into companies that you use. I would say like Apple. I've made a lot of money in Tesla. Companies that you use that you believe will do good in the future. Put some money in there and just leave it there, and you know, over time it will grow. Just have some money just sitting in stocks because it's better than having it sitting in the bank over time. Honestly, if you have your money sitting in the bank, is your value of your money is depreciating. If you have it sitting in stocks and it's good stocks, you have the opportunity to raise your money by 10% a year, you know, or more than the bank. The bank is like what they give you like 1% or point something percent interest, but if you have it in stocks, you can get like 5%, 10% if you're actively doing stuff, 30%, you know, and just have your money growing there as well. So yeah, those are my tips for how I budget my money. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope these tips really helped you out. If this video helped you, please give me a like, comment, subscribe. Of anything else you may want to know from me, any other questions you may have, comment down below. So thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and peace and blessings on your journey as a model. I really hope you're able to use these tips in order to build your brand, build your career as a model, build your net worth, all that good stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love you.